Well in and well, that is definitely a way to say smart man's business is continuing. And what we say when we are continuing and meaning business is to make sure we keep driving your business in all the aspects that there is. And if you're just joining us, welcome on board to the show that makes sure you get updates with the latest when it comes to the business, from the local aspect down to the global scene and to the African continent as well. And tell you what, I'm yours truly, Joram Paul Sonko. You can definitely follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well as Instagram at Joram Paul Sonko, and you can follow the station on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at smart24tv.com. Now we're heading into our topic, where I'm heading into an analysis of one of the stories that we've actually been having with the situation regarding the Uganda Airlines and the way of making sure the airlines rejuvenates back to the glory days as before it finally collapsed. The Federation of Motocross Uganda, together with the Uganda Airlines, have come up and signed a memorandum of understanding. And if we're to look into this situation, the memorandum of understanding has actually created room for a 15% travel discount that has been offered to the Federation of Motorsport. Now, if you look into the sporting sector of Uganda, one of the bigger perspectives, if you want to look at the bigger picture, and one of the bigger challenges that they've always found is the issue of finances. Finances is quite a very big issue in regards to the fact that the people who are supposed to be investing in them and the people who are supposed to see them move, or the people who are supposed to be facilitating the motorsport sector or any other sports sector, have actually found a very big challenge. One, if you look at the Federation of other sporting sectors, the challenge they have when we're going for international tournaments, one is the finances, maybe to pay for the bills in the hotels they're going to spend, maybe pay for the air tickets. And in this situation, that is why you've seen that the Uganda Airlines, together with the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda, have actually signed a memorandum of understanding to at least give a 15% off offer, that is a 15% offer in terms of travel for the Federation of Motorsport, in regards to the situation that when they are going to travel abroad, or maybe they're traveling across Africa. And of recent, during the weekend, there was an African rally that was taking place in Zambia, Lusaka. If only this particular memorandum was quite active at that moment, it would be easier to travel. Now, the revival of the Uganda Airlines is another story that caught the attention of every Ugandan, as we have actually also been able as the country to as well as get an Airbus as well. So from the first two sets of Bombardier, we went on to actually get an Airbus as well, which has actually caught the eye of every Ugandan, not only on social media, but everyone engaging in seeing the development of the country, with others mocking the situation, but others seeing it as a way of development. Since 2018, the government of Uganda, under the leadership of the president, set out to revive the Uganda Airline. Currently, the Uganda Airlines is doing its best to revamp its status. And on that note, therefore, the Uganda Airline has signed a memorandum of understanding between Uganda Sport Federation, that is the Uganda Motorsport Federation, to make sure that this helps them. And this means the Uganda Airlines is going to offer a 15% travel discount to the Motorsport Federation. Like I said, as we were actually kick-starting off, that the challenge that is there is most probably when these particular sporting people are going to travel, let me say, on the African continent, and they're traveling to countries like Zambia, South Africa, and heading to Kenya as well. And the bigger situation would be, how are they always going to be benefiting? Because now here, as that is why we are generally looking at it as a way that the 15% travel discount to the motocross members, or the Motorsport Federation of Uganda members, is actually a very bigger view, in a way that one may say, and what we would definitely be asking is, what is the impact of this particular memorandum of Understanding to the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda. Now, if you're to look at this, one would be, if we're to look at what would be the impact, mainly, after this memorandum was signed. What will be that impact? Now, let's look at the bigger picture. One, imagine if we are having a rally, let me say in South Africa, and with a 15% travel discount, that means each person who's going to be on the plane, because not every motor rally athlete is going to actually join the category, but all those that will be boarding the Uganda Airlines or that will be going out, this is a way of promoting sport with the Uganda Airlines. I also remember when the Uganda Cranes, lately when the Uganda Cranes is actually traveling out of the country, they use the Uganda Airlines. They are no longer using any other plane. So with this particular one, the Federation of Motorsport, they've actually given them a 15% discount. In a way that, if at all, let me say, the Blick family is actually going to travel, maybe 4 of the Blick family is actually going out, you would see that every other person, every head has a 15% discount on the ticket. And this is to help them travel safely, not only safely, conveniently, and helping them manage their finances, because the bigger issue here is always managing finances. Now, Robert Ntambi, the Assistant Commissioner of Air Transport in the Ministry of Works and Transport, postulates that the partnership is the foundation to the growth of the airline. The airline is actually using this as a way of saying that they are promoting its services to each country across Africa. Because what does this actually mean? If the athletes or any other sector in the sport in Uganda are traveling out of the country and using the airline, so every airport where the airline is going to land, people will definitely see the Pearl of Africa plane. They will definitely see fly the crane to the Pearl of Africa. So they will definitely know that, oh, there is the Uganda crane, there is a Uganda carrier flight, that is the Uganda Airlines, that is back in service. So it is a two-way traffic thing, that the Uganda Airlines is going to get more in terms of the marketing and reaching out to different destinations, because with this, it means it will have to avail itself for the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda. So it will have to reach different destinations. It will have to add on destinations it's supposed to reach, which will enable it enrich a number of markets, as well as boosting the Motorsport Federation in Uganda. The Memorandum of Understanding comes at a time when the Uganda Airlines is launching new routes of flights, which according to Bamturaki is after progress, or is a matter of progress. Regarding the cost, Bamturaki asserts that the cost of vary will depend on a number of factors, as we are yet to establish, because we are going to get back into the same story, and as Bamturaki has issues regarding this particular one, because the cost of the flight will depend on a number of factors. Number one, where is the destination? Because a flight from Uganda to Zambia will definitely be different from one from Uganda to South Africa. But then the 15% discount continues to stay on board despite of the destination of where the plane is actually taking. The Uganda airline, as we talk, is still on the verge of seeing that it grows immensely from Uganda down to East Africa until it hits Africa and to the global stage. That is why, just like when there is Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, the Uganda Airlines has also got its own tagline, Fly Uganda and Build Uganda, or FUBU. So for all those that are going to different destinations, the Uganda Airlines is actually also reaching out there. They're actually calling out people to actually use it as a way of flying to the different destinations, rather than maybe going to Qatar Airways or Emirates and looking for other planes. But Ugandans can actually use the Uganda Airlines, because this, either way, you're building the aircraft business in Uganda. You're giving out employment opportunities for the Ugandans. I mean, if you look at the situation that has actually affected the aircraft business in Kenya, that is the Kenya Airways, had issues in regards to paying out of the employees, and according to it, the flight attendants, the pilots had to remain on half salary because there was no money as of now, because the aircraft was not making profits. And if you look at this situation, because people are not traveling, and if people are not traveling with Kenyan Airways, then that means there was no money to cater or to pay the employees. And in the same situation, if we want the Uganda Airlines to actually go back to its best places, to make sure that it reaches different destinations across the world, so that they can actually add a number of Airbuses, add a number of aircrafts as well, we need to support it by flying using the Air Uganda Airlines. That is the Uganda Airlines, by using the planes of Uganda Airlines. In this way, it would be more helpful to each person out there, to every person who is taking part in Uganda. So fly Uganda and build Uganda. Fly the crane to the Pearl of Africa. And this is why you will definitely see this partnership, as it's going to be a foundation for the growth of the airlines. And if you look closely, since 2018, the government of Uganda has played a very huge role to see that the Uganda Airlines comes back to action. And according to reports coming on board, Jennifer Bamturaki, who is the director of Uganda Airlines, asserts that a 15% travel discount has been offered to the Federation of the Motorsport. The bigger question is, however, of how much impact will this lay on board for the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda? And with the underlying circumstances that come about, not only in the Federation of Motorsport, but with that of the sporting industry in Uganda, or the sporting sector, one would definitely suggest and say this is a good move that would be of help to the sporting sector, and as well as a way of promoting the Uganda Airlines, and that across borders, that would see many of the members that will be taking part in the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda actually getting closer and closer. With a 15% discount, it means we shall not be hearing a lot of stories of Ugandans who are stuck in the country, where they went to participate because of transport issues or transport fares, or because of their tickets, or because of issues related to transport fares. At that particular moment, let's head into this particular story and see what it means and what transpired as the Uganda Airlines signed a memorandum of understanding with the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda, which was geared towards developing the Uganda Airlines.
The revival of the Uganda airline is another story that caught the attention of every Ugandan since after the departure of the former president Amin Dada. Since 2018, the government of Uganda, under the leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, decided to revive the airline career. Currently, Uganda Airlines is doing its best to revamp its status, and on that note, therefore, the Uganda Airlines has signed a memorandum of understanding between Uganda Sport Federation, and in this partnership, the Uganda Airlines will offer a 15% travel discount to the Motorsport Federation members, as Jennifer Bamturaki, the ED of Uganda Airlines, asserts.
Partnership will be mutually beneficial to both the airline and the federation as we jointly market the destination Uganda. As we support each other, we will definitely be flying the PAL, the crane, into many of the places where you'll be competing. With this partnership, we are positioned as the airline of choice for the fraternity, and we intend to continue to support it, especially on all the routes that we fly. We've offered a 15% discount on our tickets for the drivers and the bikers.
Robert Ntambi, the Assistant Commissioner of Air Transport in the Ministry of Works and Transport, postulates that the partnership is foundation to the growth of the airline.
Witness the beginning of a long-lasting partnership between Uganda Airlines and the Motorsport Federation of Uganda. This partnership is one of the many that signifies the continued growth of Uganda Airlines in the Ugandan aviation industry. Having Uganda Airlines as the official carrier of motorsport not only opens doors for the airline, but also to Uganda as a destination. With the current and continued push to buy Uganda, build Uganda, Bubu.
The Memorandum of Understanding comes at a time when the Uganda Airline is launching new routes of flights, which according to Bamturaki is a meter of progress.
We are the most friendly airline. The hospitality, the crew on board, and many of you can attest to it. And it's with great pride that I mention that we will be flying to Dubai starting the 4th of October. We'll be flying 3 times a week. Our first flight, we will have a number of you coming down with us. Thank you very much for supporting the national carrier. Thank you for supporting us. We are very keen on expanding and growing and connecting Uganda, especially to the many destinations.
Parismina country will support our economic development, will support business, will support hotel industry, to mention but a few. I request these federations in motorsports that you do not only go to people in Kampala here. We need you far in the villages. We are now targeting talent identification in the youth. Please come and approach our schools. Come to schools, there is good talent. Come on the ground. Help people who would have been street kids to be mentored and they can join the sports department. And train sports that is holistic. Consider the cognitive domain. Let the child be able, the athlete or the sportsman be able to use the brain and use it very well.
Regarding cost, Bamturaki asserts that the cost will vary depending on number of factors.
You know, the costs vary depending on what time you book. But for Dubai, we have a promotional, which is $398, taxes in. But then we also have a promotion on baggage. We're doing 3 pieces instead of the 2 that normal other airlines do, that normally the industry will carry.
The Uganda Airlines, as we talk, is still on the verge of growth. As we support Uganda Airlines, we have supported the entire nation. Fly Uganda and build Uganda.
Jennifer Bamturaki looks at the situation and says, we are like, this is going to be a great move for Uganda. Uganda Airlines, meanwhile. And Uganda Airlines, as we talk, is still on the verge of saying that we fly the plane to the Pearl, or you fly the crane to the Pearl of Africa. This goes out to everyone who is watching overseas, that if you fly the plane to the Pearl of Africa, there are lots and lots more of things that you can definitely achieve, from the food down to the culture and any other thing about it. I'm tired of advertising. They will have to pay me. But meanwhile, if we're looking at the situation, the Memorandum of Understanding comes at a time when the Uganda Airlines is launching new routes of flights, which according to Bamturaki, that is Jennifer Bamturaki, is a meter of progress. As they are launching the new routes, if you were to understand, if you are a sports lover or a follower of the motorsport, you would understand that in most cases, there's motorsports rallies normally take place in Zimbabwe, there is Zambia, there is Kenya, South Africa. So mainly those are some of those countries that normally organize these African Rally Championships that normally take place, more so in regards to the motocross. And what does this actually help out? Is when this helps out in a way that this Federation of Motorsport would definitely have no challenge in traveling if they are going for these championships or competitions, because they will be rest assured that we have a steady airline that is definitely there to actually take us away. We have a 15% discount on that particular regard as well. So which means if you follow up on the different situations, it is beneficial to the Federation of Motorsport. But as you know, a memorandum of understanding comes in a way that terms and conditions apply. It is a two-way thing. It's a balancing equation where the Uganda Airlines has to benefit the destinations, that is definitely because it is launching a number of routes. Where it is actually heading, it is enriching the marketplaces, tapping into the available markets. And on the other hand, the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda is having a person to run to. If in case they have a championship to attend, they already have a secured seat with the Uganda Airlines. They only pay half of, they actually pay a certain amount, leaving the 15% away, which is a good one. For them, it is beneficial. For them, I mean, it helps out. Just like when you're entering into a taxi, and this time around there's a taxi, maybe you see, you've seen taxis, and we say, the taxi that has Mukama Musumba Wange at the back of the emergency seat, or the emergency exits, is actually saying, we are giving out percentage. If from Chitende to Kampala has been 4,000 Ugandan shillings, we are giving out a percentage for those who are working in Owino, who work from Chitende, that for who actually come from Chitende, for them they will be paying 2,000. So that is how it means. It helps you out, one, effectively and balancing your finances, and that is how good and how important this memorandum of understanding is going to be for the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda. That winds up our analysis in regards to the Federation of Motorsport and the memorandum of understanding between them and the Uganda Airlines. The bigger question will remain of what impact will this lay on board for both the Uganda Airlines and those of the Federation of Motorsport in Uganda. I'm heading in a break. When I return, I have news in regards to business stories. Keep it SMB.